is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Guardian Radio Today is brought to you by the Cleveland and Print Masters.
Come on, 3, 2, 1.
Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip.
And welcome to another edition of Guardian Radio Today. Hey, I am your host, Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Williams III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. They ain't even reached the house yet in this whip wop.
What a time.
Special guest today. That's the voice of Mr. Beard. What you saying, brother?
Yeah, what's up, Bahamas? We here.
Yeah,
We in the house and we ain't getting whip up today.
No. We got Dr. Tinker also chiming in today. My brother, what you saying?
Man, radio, how are things?
Everything is great, man. We got a lot to talk about today, a lot going on. I don't know how much you've been following in the news, but it's a lot.
Been following.
I'm sure you've been following.
Yeah.
Before the end of the day, too, we can play. Dr. Tinker got some songs for his campaign. We can hear them before the end of the day, too.
Nice.
Yeah. What you saying, Doc?
And right here, man, just, watching, all these guys that got appointed. All these
the largest
slots,
cabinet in the history of the Bahamas.
Wow.
He ain't want no one voting against him. I mean, that's 100% approval rating.
Yes, Lord.
He ain't want no foolishness in this last 5.
Yeah, Lord. He have a baked-in house whip,
Wow.
Yeah. So, I want to start the show there today because under Article 72 of the Constitution, right, you got to have at least 9 ministers. So technically, you could run the government with 9 ministers.
Okay, 9. Okay.
All right. Minimum, right?
All right.
But there's no maximum limit. So you could
have 100 strong.
You could make everybody got you get cabinet post. You get a cabinet post. You get a cabinet post, right? But so I was looking at this reality of the fact that it's a minimum of 9 cabinet ministers, right? The prime minister plus a minimum of 8 other substantive ministers. Mm-hmm. All right. The government of the Bahamas requires specific constitutional positions to be filled, including the prime minister, the attorney general, and the minister of finance. So deputy prime minister is something that they throw in there, but constitutionally, it's the prime minister, the attorney general, and the minister of finance. Right? Every cabinet minister must be a member of either the House of Assembly or the Senate. However, the number of ministers selected from the Senate is strictly limited to a maximum of 3. So you only could have 3 who are only senators.
Okay.
All right. Both the prime minister and the minister of finance must maintain seats in the House of Assembly. All right. Now, why the cabinet sizes exceed the minimum, that's based on the prime minister. The prime minister decides how many cabinet ministers are needed and why. We finally have a minister of culture, which I think is a good thing.
Yes,
I pray Miss Leslie, I think she'll do a good job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the current Bahamian cabinet portfolios, right? And I think most people know this already, but just for the sake of, for those who may not know, all right? So obviously the prime minister is Philip Edward Davis. Then you have Michael Alcides for finance, education, deputy prime minister Chester Cooper, Attorney General, Senator Wayne Monroe. Foreign Affairs is Honorable Fred Mitchell. Tourism, the Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin. National Security, the Honorable Miles LaRota. Health and Wellness, Dr. Dr. Michael Darville. Works and Family, Island Affairs, the Honorable Clay Sweeting. Energy, Utilities, and Aviation, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis. Housing and Land Reform, the Honorable Keith Bell. The Labor, Public Service, and National Insurance, the Honorable Pia Glover Roll. Environment and Natural Resources, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne. Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Jomo Campbell. That's the Golden Yoke, right? Youth and Sports, Honorable Mario Boleg. The Grand Bahama Affairs, Honorable Ginger Moxie. Urban Renewal and Community Development, the Honorable Lisa Ramming. The Culture, Arts, and Heritage. So this is one that I think we've wanted for a while. We finally have it, so I pray that it works out. But the Honorable Leslie Miller Bryce, right? Vote twice with Bryce.
Yes.
Innovation and National Development.
That's Sabas.
Sabas, the Honorable Sabas Bastian. Now, he's an innovative kind of person, so I'm excited to see.
Sense. That's a good
I'm
post.
excited to see what he does, and we can talk about him and Leslie in a second, right? Economic Affairs, Senator Jerome Fitzgerald, and Social Services, Senator Barbara Cartwright. Now, of course, one of the big discussions is Sabas, Bastian, and of course Leslie, right? This whether or not they could be in the positions that they hold, right? So I did some research to understand. I'm sure most people have. Well, it's not difficult to do the research. But I want to get the response from the callers and the texters as we go through this today. And, of course, from you, Beads, and Dr. Tinker. Yeah. So Sabas Bastian is legally able to sit in the Parliament of the Bahamas and serve as a cabinet minister because the Gaming Act does not contain a blanket ban on individuals connected to the gaming industry. Instead, the law targets active management, direct control, and specific types of ownership. Bastian legally cleared the requirements of the Bahamas Gaming Act and the Parliamentary Elections Act through several structured compliance steps. So, number one, relinquishing executive authority. The Gaming Act primarily restricts individuals who actively hold gaming licenses or maintain administrative control over operations from serving in cabinet. To satisfy this criterion, Bastian officially stepped down as Chief Executive Officer, CEO, of Island Luck. By resigning his executive role, he removed his direct control and daily operational influence over the web shop. So that's one thing he did. The second thing, placing financial assets into trust. Section 25 and 26 of the Gaming Act restrict cabinet ministers and members of parliament from maintaining direct financial interests, such as a 5% or greater direct stake in a licensed gaming operation. On nomination day, Bastian declared that the substantial portion of his and his family's financial assets were placed into trusts because the act excludes certain indirect interests where the individual does not control investment decisions. The trust structure legally separated his personal role in governance from the financial decisions of the gaming operations. So he's not in control. He moved his money into the trust. Then there's the regulatory clearance from the Gaming Board. Before being sworn in as the Minister of Innovation and National Development, Bastian worked directly with the government regulators. The Bahamas Gaming Board reviewed his financial disclosures, structural transfers, and resignation, ultimately confirming that he satisfied all statutory requirements necessary to serve in public office. Now, the constitutional supremacy. From a legal standpoint, the Constitution of the Bahamas serves as, of course, the supreme law of the land regarding parliamentary eligibility. Because the Constitution does not explicitly disqualify individuals from lawful commercial backgrounds, such as the regulated domestic gaming industry, imposing an absolute selective ban via secondary legislation would raise serious constitutional challenges regarding political discrimination. Despite these measures, of course, his appointment remains a subject of intense political debate. The opposition FNM has publicly questioned whether the spirit and intent of the law is being upheld and has suggested testing the legality of the trust and ownership structure in court. So I think that's going to happen. Yeah, I think they're going to test it legally. But one of the things that came across my mind ultimately was, if it's legal, why are we going through this? Why still say control a gaming establishment? You can't sit in cabinet if
it's legal.
If it's legal.
Well, I mean, it could. Is it because a lot of people don't know the law, and
Could be.
and people have questions as to, because when you go on social media, one of the questions that I've seen that was pervasive in terms of people being against Sabas being a member of parliament and a cabinet minister and all that stuff, is they want to see proof that he's no longer in that position. They want to see documented proof. So now, the question is, has documented proof been provided for the public to see, or is it just more of a, they just verbally telling the public that he's no longer there?
They're saying that the Bahamas Gaming Board reviewed his financial disclosures, structural transfers, and resignation, ultimately confirming that he satisfied all statutory requirements necessary to serve in public office. So the Gaming Board, they saying they've seen what they need to see.
Right. But then I'm saying the public now is saying, we ain't believe that.
So they need to go ahead, Tinker.
I don't know.
So let's just look at it from a broader view.
Yeah.
Okay, even if the law says it's allowed, okay, and the law and the government says there's no conflict of interest. The one thing you can't regulate is bias. You understand?
True.
When we look at Orion Pinder, who would have sat in a position as minister or junior minister, whatever his time was at that time, of finance, right? Making all sorts of legislation and things for banks. Then all of a sudden, got the offer of a lifetime. So much that the offer, Perry Christie said he thought the offer was a good offer and he would have done the same thing. And then he left and he gone and he worked for Deltec Bank. And then he come back as Attorney General. And then he gone back now probably in the private practice. So when we look at the bias is something you can't, it's hard to measure that.
Yeah.
Even a Brent Simonet. Where he going? He going right in customs. Hooking up everything in customs. Then you look at the other fella, what do you name the one who was Minister of Tourism under the FNM. What do I name now? Denicio.
Oh, the Aguilar.
The Aguilar. Okay.
All of a sudden, commercial washes, no VAT,
No VAT.
no duty. So it's the fact that can you control what these people do when they're in office to benefit directly their businesses? No, me and you not knowing the backdoor deals and what's going on, but to the public, to the preview and what we see, we know and we could assume that some skullduggery is going on, but we probably can't prove it until it pops up somewhere. So a guy like Sabas, who's in this business, without a shadow of a doubt, there's going to be issues.
Well, and with that, we don't want no issues. So let's make sure the names. Yeah. Let's just hold back on the names. But you can't call. It's the Bahamas. It's the Bahamas. So
and then people is misinterpreting. They don't listen.
So we ain't want no problems, right? But I hear you. The whole idea that people are gonna see things the way they want to see things is exactly the point. But the total estimated. So they're in there. Leslie, Sabas, they're in there because now I don't know. We'll see if it's legally tested, right? But in the meantime, this annual salary bill for the newly 29 appointed executive cabinet ministers stands at $1,892,000, approximately $1.9 million, right, per year. Now, what does that mean? Obviously, a member of parliament, their base salary is $28,000 per year. All right. A senator base stipend is $12,500 per year. So, for example, the prime minister makes a basic salary of $86,000. Duty and allowance is $25,000 for a total combined $111,000 a year. The deputy prime minister, DPM base salary, the ministerial plus the MP pay $170,000 total package. All right, so $76,000 as DPM, $66,000 as ministerial, and $28,000 as an MP. And then there's duty and allowance. Any substantive cabinet minister, right? Ministerial salary, $66,000, $28,000 for the MP base salary, and the duty allowance of $5,000 for a total combined $99,000, right? For Senate appointed cabinet ministers, the ministerial salary, if they're a minister, $66,000. The Senate base stipend is $12,500. And then the duty allowance is $5,000. This is per annum. For the total combined, per senator, minister, $83,500. If you're a minister of state, it's $60,000 for the ministerial salary top up. The MP base salary is $28,000, and the duty allowance is $5,000. The total combined would be $93,000. So that's nothing new, right? That's been in place, right? But when we look at because some people, this is the argument some people have, right? While the exact let's say 1,892,000 total executive salary bill for 29-member cabinet seems substantial on its own, they say it only accounts for 0.05% of the total national budget.
Okay.
So I'm just giving you some. Go ahead.
I wouldn't get caught up in what they're paying. I would just get caught up in how big the cabinet is. I mean,
Right.
the salary is what can make people talk, but the damage or why this cabinet is so big or why this government is so big is the real issue.
Yeah.
And don't get sidetracked by the salary, because the reason you're doing this is because you're buying loyalty, blind loyalty. Because these guys know, and we have Mr. Fitzgerald is back now. And we had back then, he was under an issue where he said he could not, I think, say no or did something, or he would lose his cabinet post. So we got these type of characters that are back in government now. So which means under the Westminster system, you cannot vote against the government.
Right.
If you vote against the government, you must resign immediately. This crew ain't resigning.
Nope. You would resign?
They want the pump and pantry.
You would resign? I wasn't resigning. Let me throw one more thing on the table before we get to the phone lines and the text. All right. So where the money goes, right? The $3.82 billion national framework is split into two primary operational spending categories. So there's recurrent expenditure, which is $3.44 billion. This covers day-to-day operations of running the country, including public sector salaries, rent, and national debt servicing. Rent, that's an interesting one there, rent, right? Then there's capital expenditure, $376.3 million. This covers long-term investments like building roads, hospital upgrades, dock infrastructure, and school renovations. The executive salaries versus the total public employee compensation. So to accurately gauge the cost of the expanded cabinet, it must be compared to the government's total payroll, known as personal emoluments, right? The executive team's annual salary pool of $1.89 million is a fraction of the broader civil service costs. So the total government employee compensation, the broader public sector wage bill is projected at over $629 million annually. So the argument will be that this is roughly the combined salaries of all 29 ministers and ministers of state consume roughly 0.3% of the total public sector payroll. So 629 million versus 1.9 million. I'm just throwing these stuff out. This is what people are saying, right? But let's go to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you live.
Good day, General.
Hey, but how you doing?
Good day.
But it is a timely conversation.
Yeah.
I'm happy I caught it. I just want to say a few things quickly.
Sure, go ahead, my brother.
Let's talk about what you start off with the appointments. Congratulations to them all.
Yeah.
The only thing, during the campaign, I know I've listened to Mr. Bastian spoke adamantly about himself on, I think, Dwayne, forget his last name, but who comes on in the morning? Dwight Strachan.
Dwight Strachan. Mm-hmm.
One of the things what I recognize that he did do, and what was interesting to me, was the fact that he never really mentioned his island luck, because there's a lot of suspicion that has always circulated around him in terms of how he started that business. We all know it was illegal at one point.
But we don't know. So let's be careful. We don't know, because I don't know.
Well, we know numbers, gaming before.
Oh, you mean from that perspective, gaming was illegal before they made it legal? That's what you mean? Okay,
So,
I got you.
You know, for me, I wanted to know if he would have brought up that history about Island Luck and kind of, I guess, kill those talks at the end of the day, because it is what it is. You know. And then secondly, I wanted to talk about the fact that I'm interested about the budget. Because I know before they left, they had some unpaid vendors. They had some stuff that they didn't taken care of. I know that we was purported to have probably this budget see a surplus of $75 million.
That was
so
the
these
talk.
are things that I'm interested in knowing about. But that one thing for me would be good to see if Sabas would have cleared up that history about if he did or did not, as it says, because that's just role models. I made my money through being honest. I never taken a drug. Nobody is illegal money. And for me, I have children. And so people who want to represent me publicly, I expect that their background should reflect that also in terms of when you say you're honorable. And so at the end of the day, there shouldn't be no suspicion. And if there's any, he should be able to come and clear up his history at the end of the day.
So how do you feel about the fact that it was made legal, even though like the people voted against it?
That in itself is democracy dead, because if you say referendum is how we determine as a nation in terms of implementing democracy, and we say all majority say no, and you still then turn around as a few
To make it an opinion poll.
legally, right? Whether it's opinionated or not, you got
It wasn't an opinion poll, but that's what they made it.
Yeah,
you turned it into opinion poll.
The nation felt about it. So that means then, as a leader, it tells me you don't care about what I say at the end of the day. So why bring things to me if you still can go behind me and still make your own decision?
So let me just be clear about what you're saying. If Mr. Bastian in some way had addressed it, you would feel better about his appointment? Is that what you're saying, or?
Because, okay, when I compare my life to him, he's a millionaire, but I didn't take the road. I didn't take those roads.
Yeah.
I didn't go on to try to solicit a drug dealer money, a smuggler's money. I didn't go on and look for the worst persons to get money from because I wanted to cheat success.
Well, I don't know if he did that, but we know he had a business that at one point numbers was illegal in the country. That's where that's the illegality that I'm talking about. So that's what I'm talking about. You just wanted him to speak on that aspect
yes, because I have children, and I want people who will represent me have a better story than me, because like I say, I've done my business from ground up, sales and out of pocket, no loans, no nothing, no inheritance, just hard work and strategic spending.
Gotcha.
Okay, so if he can't have that story, then I don't have that respect for nobody who can't show me a true G story when you say, I trusted the process, I work hard, I put in the time, I made smart investments. Because when you talk about innovation, I've been saying, when he spoke about his interest in development and housing, he never talked about incorporating solar, water harvesting, nor any agricultural component to feed ourselves at the end of the day. So when you talk about innovation, we have to be clear about what that means.
Well, I'm sure I'm sure that's gonna be made clear. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be made clear. But I appreciate your point with regard to, I mean, obviously that's a concern of many people. You're an honorable person, you know, and obviously this whole law that is being circumvented is a concern.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the law is the law, and they got good lawyers. So thank you for the call, man. Let's see what the text line is saying here before we go to the next phone line. Good afternoon, Uncle. We have this big back cabinet costing us as a country millions of dollars in salaries, and we don't have aspirin in our nation's hospital. Oh my Lord!
What a time!
Yeah, because ideally you only need 9. 9 is less than
minimum.
That's $1 million, less than $1 million to pay 9 cabinet ministers. All right, but we got 20.
Is it cabinet ministers or senators?
Well, it's the cabinet ministers. So there are senators who are also.
That's right.
So Wayne Monroe didn't win his seat, but he's a senator,
Senator,
so
right.
he could. But he's the attorney general.
Right.
And let me just look at the list again. He also has. So we have.
Is it because why I was asking about the 9? Is the 9 related to the amount of cabinet ministers or senators?
No, is so Wayne Monroe would be Attorney General and Legal Affairs. So Senator Wayne Monroe moved from National Security, so he is Attorney General and Legal Affairs. No, so the
9 is what you could appoint.
Right, the 9 is what you could appoint.
It's the minimum.
It's a minimum. Under Article 72 of the Constitution, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the cabinet must consist of at least 9 ministers.
Right.
Yeah. Good day, doctors. And God is in the vessel. You can smile at the storm. The PM and the fattest cabinet at our expense is outrageous. We know that this is the fakest government in the history of the Bahamas, and God is going to expose every one of them. Remember what fake mean, and starting with their smile. Just watch God. That's what the text says.
Oh, boy.
Let's go back to the phone lines.
Oh, Lord. Uh-oh.
This is how the people feel. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening. How you guys doing?
Great, man. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir.
It kills me when people have this, God this and God that. But
Right.
the Bible says faith without works is dead.
Yes.
So you can't say God can take care of it if we don't protest or we don't have some type of do some type of action.
What do you think should happen?
People wondered why the young people, because the young people are no longer like the older, hardcore PLPOF. For them. They got sense now. They researching for themselves and they saying, hold on, this ain't making no sense. Why won't vote? Like, for instance, Wayne Monroe, the constituency of Freetown, they voted him out because he wasn't, in their opinion, he wasn't doing a good job. And like a slap in their face, he's back in power now. Dr. Darwell, the nurse, the nurses was complaining about his ability to do his job, and what happened? He's back. So my thing is, as it relates to this administration, someone mentioned a referendum. The people spoke, and they still did what they want to do. As it relates to the given personnel who were selected, it's almost like we in this country we turn a blind eye and almost make it like, oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's a referendum. Like, there's no urgency. It's like it's normal. Like, go ahead.
So, caller, some would say that Mr. Wayne Monroe was a bad politician, but he's an excellent lawyer. Would you say that?
Why vote? Why vote if you're not going to listen to the majority of the people who didn't want him? Apparently,
so you think they
didn't want him. You just put him right back in their face again in a more powerful position. My thing is, and lastly, we may play blind and dumb, but it seems like this administration always find a loophole to do what they want to do, regardless of what the law may say. You'll have their spin doctors going to call after I call and spin this and say, oh, no, Sebastian and Mr. Bryce, that's no big thing. It's a loophole. And my thing is, if Vin Monroe was a great lawyer, why would you clog up the loopholes and stop the appearance of conflict of interest from happening? I'm not like you guys talk about this whole budget. I'm not worrying about the budget. I'm worrying about the alleged hidden contracts that may come. And lastly, what's the moratorium? When does the moratorium end for the gaming houses? I remember it was 10 years. Then they say, and they're thinking about doing it for 25 years. Will that come back up? Will we hear anything about that? And will they? To me, all that is conflict of interest. To me. And lastly, my last point. As you guys are doctors and things, so you guys, I only have a BA, so I know you guys are way smarter than me. Why, as a government, why wouldn't you build a structure to house most of your officers or whatever instead of renting it, and have someone and then have a place to look after the maintenance or whatever, opposed to just renting from a particular person who is now in the House. Does that, I mean, I'm asking you guys. You guys are smarter than me. Does that make sense?
That's why
when you could bill, and then that's how it makes sense to look over this stuff. I mean, to me, I don't know. Like I said, you guys are smarter than me, but it seems like it's like
that's common sense, Ola. You're right. That's common sense.
Like, it seems like like everybody. You got lawyers, you got doctors who in the studio now and on the radio, on the phone. But it feels like it's status quo. It's nothing. There's no sense of urgency, and everybody look at it like, yeah, that's the PLT.
So you think the people should hit the street? That's what you're saying? Because you're saying faith without works is dead. So what you think the people should do?
But I'm not saying there are more persons who. Not you guys. I can't point the finger at nobody, you guys, and then I don't take up the mantle myself. I'm saying, just how this government can always find a loophole to do what they want to do, like they get switched from a referendum and opinion poll. Who we have on the other side to fight for the people, or at least have some sort of democracy? Because right now, we play blind, dumb, and stupid in this country. Like we play like we don't see what's going on. The perception of corruption, because allegedly we can't never find no evidence. We can never find no evidence on no MP or nothing. So my thing is, who's gonna fight for the people, or who will not be afraid to produce this evidence? That's my only question.
Yeah.
I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you. The moratorium is scheduled to end in March of 2027. That's when the Gaming House moratorium is scheduled to end. So we'll see. There was a push to try to get 25 years, but I don't think that was successful. But March of 2027 is when it's supposed to be. So it's going to come up, but we'll see what will happen. We're going to run to a break here on Guardian Radio today. Keep it locked here on 96.9. Special guest in studio today, Mr. Beads. And, of course, we got Dr. Tinker. My name is Kahun Ankusara. Keep it locked.
Wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop.
At Marco's, we make it better. Better ingredients, better flavors, better quality. A signature sauce that families have always counted on. We are not only serving your family, but our families too. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas with center squares or cheesy bread for just $29.95. When you want it, you can trust. Choose Marco's. Your family deserves the best. Marco's Pizza, crafted with heart and proudly shared with love.
Beulah, gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood. We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too? Of course we can. But we could be in deep trouble if they find out. We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami. So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles. Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal. So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today with your host, Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Eunice III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. In studio today, Mr. Beads, and then,
Yes,
of course,
sir.
we got Dr. Tinker with us as well. This text says, good afternoon. I believe thousands should march against the Minister of Health. Reposting it's a slap in our faces, but we always let the PLP do what they want to do. See, what's the last time we had people galvanized and ready to go to march was we march. And Enfield, he marched that up, man. He gonna become a senator. He gonna become a senator, man. So people a little wary about marching.
Yeah, marching.
You know, why we have to tiptoe about Sabas being CEO of Island Luck? Well, he relinquished that post. He had his employees march through town in 2013 advocating legislation of illegal gambling. Perry Christie, who said he had no horse in the race, said at the time that it was a wonderful display of democracy when the referendum failed. Perry Christie said the law has to take its course simultaneously. Wayne Monroe filed a stay with the court, his arguments defying the voice of the people. So we know that the people voted against it, and it still went through. Good day. He's an excellent lawyer for criminals, is what. Well, he's the government lawyer now. So, calling you live here on Guardian Radio today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Uncle.
Hey, Cleve, how you doing,
good
man?
afternoon, Doc. My Democratic friend who turned Republican friend.
Yeah, man, right here.
Oh, there it goes. Republican who turned Democrat.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Uncle.
Hey.
When I look at the cabinet per se, I could care less how much money they're being paid
Yeah.
to start with,
Yeah.
right? Let me say that. What is most What is most important to me is, Anku, is that this is on the borderline of becoming a dictatorship. When you have 95% of your members of parliament who be elected to serve and represent the people, is now being subservient to the prime minister and the cabinet. You know, when they're elected, they're supposed to represent who?
The people. The constituents. You there?
Hello?
Hey, you there?
Yeah, you could hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, as I was saying, once you become a member of the cabinet, you now become obligated to the prime minister and the government of the Bahamas. So these people who are rejoicing and celebrating, and it's going to be a sad day when they go to their MP, and their MP can't help them because, like Jerome, and I'm happy that Dr. Tinker brought that up. You know, we had the Rubis situation. Remember when we had the Rubis leak?
Yeah.
Jerome said he couldn't say anything because he didn't want to lose his cabinet job. That's exactly how this thing outplayed. But then when you look at that other headline about this MP who met with the informant
Yeah.
and who was wired up.
Yeah, we can touch
and
that
now
in the next
on tape.
hour. But
that
go ahead.
MP, whoever they are, is becoming very defiant.
Yeah. They need to
in
move
terms
that
of
person.
not coming forward. But if I were the prime minister, I would have had all of them swear under oath that is not them to show that they're serious. Because the U.S. isn't going to ease up.
No.
We know they're not going to ease up. And basically, what we have here, this. You think it's safe to say that is on the borderline of treason?
I would say so. I mean, you in the House of Parliament discussing drugs?
You meeting to discuss a drug transshipment?
Well, allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
Well,
that has to be on the borderline of treason and coup. I can be wrong, but I think it is.
I'm waiting to see what's going to come.
I believe that MP, in the interest of all concerned, including the country, they should identify themselves. What say you before I make another point?
No, I agree. I think it's bad for it. All of the people in government are not corrupt. It just makes it. It's like that one rotten apple that's gonna spoil the whole barrel, right? So instead of making us look corrupt, just step aside, move, do what you gotta do, but get out the way.
See, this issue is bigger than any individual. You're talking about our international reputation here.
Right.
The whole country is at stake. I mean, many party supporters may think I'm being political, but I'm not, I'm a nationalist first. And I don't care what side of the political divide this person end up on. It's their solemn duty, and it's my duty as a Bahamian to speak out.
Mm-hmm.
To speak out and stomp
I have a
this
question.
nonsense
I have a
out.
question for you, sir. This is Mr. Beads here.
But let's see basically where they go from there. But
He got a question for you, Cleaver. One second.
what is it?
Oh, I'm saying this, Mr. Beads. How you doing?
All right, sir.
Yeah, I have a question for you. So, are you saying then that the person who the alleged member of parliament that was involved in that, allegedly involved in that drug deal, you think that they should reveal themselves to the public and let them know who they are? You think they should come out and do that, or you saying that the
definitely come
government
out.
should expose them?
What you're going to force? You're going to go downtown and hopefully the U.S. Marshals are going to put their hands on them and snatch them away. Is
Well-
that what they're waiting on?
Well, proven guilty.
Yeah, but then they need nationalists and in the interest of the country, because I believe the bricks should come down on them 10
So
times
what?
more
But what
harder.
if they didn't do it? What if they didn't
Okay,
talk about
fine.
it?
If they didn't do it, look here. If they call my name right now in those particular cases, I could fly to New York. I could fly anywhere and clear my name because I know they have the wrong person, not me. I don't know about you or anyone else, and I believe you all gentlemen on the show could do the same.
Yes, sir.
But for whatever reason, the Prime Minister, you have heard a clear, concise press statement or press release from the Prime Minister yet?
I haven't.
Have you heard anything, or is everybody is still being quiet as a church mouse?
Yeah. Well,
This is our sovereignty.
and
it's
I
our
can
state
dive
here.
into that more in the second hour, but I appreciate you bringing it up, Cleaver.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. This texter says people spoke largely. Ask your caller, did they vote to make a difference? I don't know. This texter says, I believe the appointment of Mr. Wayne Monroe was a slap in the face of the Bahamian people. He was rejected by the people. Well, he's a good
And
lawyer.
he was very confident that he was going to get appointed too.
Well, he put in his work. He put it. See, one of the things that and PLP or FNM, right? When you sign up to say you're gonna be a minister or to be an MP rather, right? I don't know if they can write this in books later on to say like how much of their personal money do they spend, right? How much of their personal funding goes into these campaigns, and how much do they expect to get back?
That's a good point.
You understand what I'm
But
saying?
let me tell you, they need to overhaul all of that because
I agree.
might as well tell you, as long as you have no regulation over how much a candidate can contribute to his campaign,
Right.
where the candidate gets the money from, the system is designed to be that way. If a decent guy out there really want to run for office, he don't stand a chance because if he ain't got the money,
Yeah.
you can't win.
Yeah.
Because Minnis ran as an FNM and won the election. But he won the election as an FNM.
Mm-hmm.
The FNM won him the election.
Mm-hmm.
Minnis ran as Minnis and lost horribly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the power of these political machines.
Yes. Well,
that come out
look
there
at
and make
McAlpine.
everybody drink the Kool-Aid.
Look how good McAlpine treat them people, and he going independent.
There you go. Look at Blue. Look at Blue.
Look at Blue, right?
Blue was doing a good job,
Yes.
and they ain't give Blue. They ain't give Blue
They ain't
a
work with
handful
him.
of votes.
Yeah.
You see, so people down there, our countrymen, they wrap up in the political parties, man, and they look forward to making money during this time.
Yeah.
So the people ain't serious about no that. They ain't serious about no change. They're looking forward to make money during this time. It's the game.
Yep. This taxer says, why does it always have to be the USA to bring things up? Clearly, we are not serious about policing ourselves. Wow.
No, man.
Call you live here on Garden Radio today.
Good afternoon. I know the U.S. is go there and do their own thing, right? But let me ask y'all a question. Can the Bahamas government go and investigate the USA in their own country without letting them know that we're doing an investigation there?
I don't know. That's a
On
good
their
question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, to me, it comes off as if, and I could be wrong, and I could be wrong in my view too, but it comes off as if because we depend so much on the United States, you know, like the
I'm
Bible
talking
says that
from
the
right
borrower is a
now.
slave to
Yeah.
the lender.
I
You know,
just wanna-
Let
me answer
Tinker
that
chime
for
in.
you.
Go ahead.
Let me answer that for you. Did the Bahamas defend itself?
Right.
Very simple.
So I was getting to that.
You all got jets. The Bahamas got aircraft carriers. You have a
don't feel
military
like
over a
we
million people. So
Hello?
that's your answer right there. You can't defend yourself. You're not a superpower, so you need to just sit down and be small. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's
I'm
more
just
That's it.
saying.
There's nothing you can do. This
I'm
is
just
talking
saying.
real world here.
Yes. Now, I'm just saying now, I don't think the Bahamas could defend themselves because United States just caught somebody with whatever, and what they're doing, I personally don't like. They're dangling
Okay,
stuff in front of our
watch
country.
this. Watch this. Venezuela, which is much more powerful than that.
In the Bahamas, yeah.
Trump sent the military over there, slap Maduro, Trump on a plane and slap his wife, and they wake up in New York. Anything happen?
Nope.
I didn't hear you. I was talking. And you were
I
talking
said
the same
Trump
time I was
going into
talking.
Venezuela and took Maduro out, slap him, slap his wife, fly them back to New York and prosecute them. Did anything happen?
No, nothing did happen.
But there you go. You think the Bahamas could come in the United
Something
States?
did happen.
Ain't nothing happened.
Something
He's
did
still
happen,
in
but
jail.
It benefited the United States.
That's the power
That's what
of
I'm
strong,
saying.
the power of a strong government.
Okay,
There's
then.
no rules when you got a strong government.
What do you think United States is doing to us now by dangling before the Bahamian people after the election? Say we have one of your MP who we think might be mixed up in corruption, but they don't want to give us the name. They have the power right now, and all they're watching us is arguing and saying things out there that we don't know.
You don't think Brave Davis then call Marco Rubio and say, please don't release the name?
Pardon me?
You don't think Brave Davis then
that's a
call
courtesy.
Marco Rubio and tell Rubio don't release the name?
I don't know. I can't say something that I
So that's a
believe.
courtesy,
That's my
you're saying?
assumption.
That's a courtesy,
I could
man.
say he called, as well as he could say he don't have anything to deal with them until they step forward with the rest of the information. I'm not going to run behind the United States. They have the ball inside their hands. I'm not going to be begging them for anything.
We
If
saw
they
what
have
happened to the
something- If they have something on our government, then they should come out and say, hey, these are the people who are causing y'all think I'm to be corrupt. Why they're not giving her information? That's what we should be talking about.
Let me give you an example on history. So Lyndon Pilden, did you know that the DOJ wanted to come in the Bahamas and arrest Lyndon Pilden? The only reason he didn't get arrested because the president at that time told the DOJ, Department of Justice, cease and desist.
Okay.
Do not touch him down. That's it. But they took out Noriega.
We have information
Panama.
also.
So
that the United States have their hands with drugs too. So which one is
understand,
calling the
but
port black?
They could call the pot yellow. It's who got the big guns, man. It's the reality.
All of them hands one time ago dealing with drugs, even under Ronald Reagan, and now they saying we are a bad country because we had our past leaders and their past leaders that was dirty with it too.
We can jump into that.
And United States still doing some stuff. I mean, look where they have the world at right now
So
because they don't want to lose power.
Caller, we can dive into that in the next hour because we only got a couple minutes before we go to the break. But that's a good point. We're going to dive into that in the next hour. And we get through these calls and then go to the break, and then we can dive into this discussion a bit more after the break. Caller, you live.
Good afternoon, Uncle. I'll get through this quickly. Couple
Sure.
points.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the Bahamian people, for the most part, when we look at the numbers, are either indifferent or opposed to current government. And that is enough for the current government to get in. We can't do nothing but that until Bahamians' attitude change. The special interest for the next 5 years, as we've seen in previous, will rule, and that can include the numbers. They may get what they want to get, you know, until the numbers person, which means they may get an extension to the 25 years, which means that everyone else, they get in and they lock everyone else out, right? Not that I'm in agreement with numbers, but that's just the way it is.
I feel
But that's what the Bahamian people voted for, and that's what they were happy that all the monies and whatever, and some people say they ain't going to change nothing, so they didn't go to vote. Then the few who voted, you know, they chose, but it wasn't enough to take it over the hump. Then, you know, until people know, you know, when we looked at where the major changes occurred, whether it was when the PLP came to power in 67, the people were oppressed, when the road riots, all those things. Or when Ingram came, the country just was in a financial mess. The U.S., you know, was against it. The economy was really bad. Until something really comes where it really affects the Bahamian people, the young as well, those who are indifferent, then you won't see anything. They're happy, and I think they just get enough to be okay. I ain't bothered. You know, one bothering me. So, and then we know the U.S., getting to that question, the U.S. has their own interest. The U.S. is going to use this political thing, and they're going to dangle it, perhaps to get what they want from the Bahamas government. Maybe you'll see some contract that was signed with China no longer. But something was going to do, they're going to use it. They're going to be served about the Bahamian interest. So don't look for them to do anything to please the Bahamas. They're going to look to please themselves.
That's what it is. Make America great again. Yeah. Not Bahamas.
And until that happens, so they will hold that. Don't forget when those other police and the defense force officers.
They had names then too.
And nothing came out of it.
Yeah.
So they're going to do the same. That's their playbook. But behind doors, there's some negotiation going on, and you just don't know. There may be contracts to give to certain persons happening, the U.S. people. They use it, and because to you, that's a small thing. Fellas, and they get them to talk or they set them up. But
they do.
So that's what we're looking at, and I just wanted to give those comments.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much.
But even when we look at BEC, remember the BEC bribe taker? It was the same thing. Who had the information? The U.S.
Well, the U.S. obviously, like you said, Tinker, they have the infrastructure to watch everybody.
Yeah,
that's what it is, man.
They have the infrastructure to watch everybody, and we're going to talk about this in the next hour because who has the largest appetite for drugs in the world?
Yeah,
America.
Right.
So we can talk and
a half-hour flight away.
Yeah. Okay. So we're in the pathway of a nation that has the largest appetite for drugs. So don't make us look corrupt. Don't make us look dirty. We can talk about that and a lot more when we come back on Guardian Radio today. Our special guest, Mr. Beads, and Dr. Tinker is here. And, of course, you, the callers and the texters, so make sure you stay on the line. We're going to get to you right after the break. I got a clip I want to play of the late Sir Lynden Pinland, who dealt with this matter when he was in office. And we're going to examine that clip and what he had to say because here we are again. 96.9 Guardian Radio, fresh news, smart talk, all day. Back after this.
Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Turn a trip to Burger King Nassau into a galactic adventure with the Mondo and Grogu Whopper Combo, featuring special shake fries. Whether you're a bounty hunter in training or just here for your way, Burger King Nassau has everything Mandalorian and Grogu related you could want. Grab the toys, the mugs, the crowns, and your crew, and head on down to BK and celebrate the Mandalorian and Grogu adventure with Burger King Nassau. This is the way.
Always on the go? Missed a show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Mommy, guess what I did in school today?
Hold on, sweetie. Mommy's sending a text.
But Mommy, my teacher said that you're not supposed to text and drive.
I know what I'm doing.
Oh, look, Mommy, the Smith twins. Mommy, watch out! In 2017, approximately 54 people died as a result of traffic accidents. A percentage of these fatalities occurred as a result of texting while driving. Just taking your eyes off the road for 5 seconds can increase your chance of crashing. Remember, even the smallest voice counts. Texting. Brought to you by UB Radio and Guardian Radio 96.9.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day. What?
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and Gretzi.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us boy one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way?
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet this boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and drunk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop.
Yes, indeed. We're back here on Guardian Radio. My name is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Enes III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Special guest in studio today, Mr. Beads.
Yes, sir.
And of course, our regular guest, Dr. Tinker. And so we have a situation in this country where drugs and guns have been. Beads, what you say? You say from when you were small,
yes.
you know, you could get your hand on a gun very easily.
Oh yeah, tourists, people, foreigners came from outside the country.
Yeah,
and you know, ain't nothing changed. Didn't they just find there was this American guy who had this yacht, and they found all this ammunition the other day.
He had to be paid $1.6 million to get off of that, right? Let me get to these callers, and then I want to play a clip from the late Sir Lyndon Pinland, where he was questioned on NBC about just this and his response. I'm not giving right to anybody who doing anything wrong in the government, but it's alleged, right?
Right, it's alleged. Yeah.
But what I just the greater context is we are not innately a corrupt people. I don't want that narrative to be spread. Let me go to the callers and then I'll get to that clip. Caller, you live.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Is it all?
Right there, man. Thanks
hey,
for
what you say, man? What you say, brother?
What you say, B.A.?
Yes, sir. What's up, bro?
Oh, everything good. Hey, Uncle.
Hey.
It's Brother Wallace.
Hey, bro.
I know PLP, I know FNN, I know COI.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not independent.
Right.
I am a son of the Lord, God Almighty.
Amen.
Through Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
And I to be Amen.
Yes, sir.
But I listening to this thing about these people and these drugs thing, what they say, allege that some official, some high politician official was doing some underground work concerning trafficking, right? That's what it was, right?
Yeah, they said the DEA saw us held a meeting about, this is the cover of the front page of the Tribune. DEA saw us held a meeting about $30 million drug deal with Politician 1 inside Parliament building. They call him Politician 1.
Okay. I'll ask you something, though. Right? I don't know how good you is with law.
I'm not a lawyer.
Well, I somewhat get a little experience with law.
Yeah.
Right? So, first thing, they say this brother been in the House of Assembly, mingling with this politician, and making this deal with this politician.
This DEA source, you mean?
Okay. Listen to that. Now, that just came out when? About 3 days ago?
Yeah, very recently.
Okay.
I mean, this is in today's paper,
Now,
but yeah.
everybody, listen to what everybody's saying. The majority of people, I wouldn't say everybody, the majority of people saying that that that's the government. That's somebody in the government, right? Could you give me some clarity on who is the government?
So if you ask some people, they would say we are the government, right? The people are the
Right.
government, and
But
the
you know
people
when
we
you're talking to
elect,
the
they
people,
serve
right?
us,
Yeah.
right?
I just want to know. I just want you to give some clarity of who is the government.
So the people in the House of Assembly are the elected.
Right.
They are the elected members.
Of government.
Right.
Right.
The
Now,
people
watch
have
this.
chosen them to sit in
Right.
those
Now,
seats.
watch this.
Right.
Everybody what I hear came on and talk about this. The
Mm-hmm.
majority of people, poison, right? They say it's the PLP.
Yeah, but we don't know that.
Well, no, that's what they saying. But
Yeah.
what I want to give them some clarity on, the PLP is not the government.
Right. That's a political party.
Exactly.
Right.
The government is the opposition
And the actual government.
and the actual government.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
So when they say there was a high-ranking politician,
Mm-hmm.
MP, that's what they said, MP. We have 41 MPs in those assembly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So why everybody saying it's one of the MPs on the PLP side? Nobody name was called.
That's the point.
They
Yeah,
didn't
nobody-
call nobody name.
Exactly.
I have a problem with people who are too political minded in this country, you know.
So that's why I glad see. So anyway, that's why I play in the clip. I about to play right now. I appreciate you calling and
Okay,
making that
God
point,
bless.
because what I don't want to come out of this situation, any country or any foreign national or anybody can point to the Bahamas and say we are a corrupt nation. Yes, all countries have corrupt people, but let's please put this into a larger context. Producer, I sent you a clip. Let me know when you have it lined up, because I want to play through a clip that I remember as a little boy. I was a young man anyway when it aired. All right, the late Celine Penland was on NBC, and I want you to listen to what is being said at that time. Go ahead, and we'll stop if we need to stop. I'll let you know. Go ahead.
was
Go ahead.
shaking.
Go ahead, producer.
Flatly denied the allegations and later announced the setting up of a royal commission of inquiry to investigate the drug traffic and clear the government of involvement in it.
Mr. Prime Minister. Hold on. I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to you.
I don't have a copy of the report, but if anybody would, Mr. Ross might.
I'm not interested in Mr. Ross. Mr. Ross is a faker. He is known to have conducted fraudulent interviews before. I don't want to deal with Mr. Ross. If you were interviewing me on the show this morning, I would have no objection to it. You are interviewing me, ma'am. And with the greatest respect, have you got a copy of the report?
Well, to be perfectly honest, the arrangement was that Mr. Ross was to interview you.
He was to interview me?
Yes.
When? Mr. Prime Minister, I was coming from a meeting in Nassau. A microphone was poked in my face, 12 o'clock at night. Can I talk to you? I say, no, I'm tired. I'm going home.
I'm wondering if you do have a specific request for these papers, the man who has them, at least for representing NBC News, is sitting to your immediate left. Perhaps you could ask him.
I am not interested in the man. I know how to deal with the man.
But if access is what you're after...
This is an NBC responsibility. He just happens to be working for NBC. I want these alleged reports supplied to me. I'll tell you why. The President of the United States has commended myself and my government for the assistance that we have continuously given.
Then why hasn't the Justice Department responded?
Just one moment, let me finish. He's had a whole week on this thing. I've just come for a couple minutes. Admiral Murphy has said in an interview that these are all rumors, an accumulation of rumors on which there is no substantive hard evidence and you can't come to any conclusion on. I spoke to Vice President Bush and we are in continued discussions on how we cooperate on the on dealing with this matter.
Have you spoken with the Vice President since the charges were made?
Oh, no, not since the charges. Ever since December,
Have
and
you
we have been
tried?
in correspondence. No, I contacted the President. Why go to the Vice President when I can go direct to the president.
The newspapers swarmed over the Bahamas.
So that there's the voice of the late Sir Lyndon Pinland, who was in an interview at NBC. Now you're going to hear the voice of Mr. Charles Carter. All right? Just letting y'all hear this, and then we can have a discussion, because we cannot allow anybody to create a narrative about this country, because they started to call us a corrupt nation from as soon as we got independent self-rule. You understand? Let's continue the clip, producer.
Times, I think, did the story Nation for Sale.
Oh, this is
On
our
special segment
folks.
tonight, the continuing connection between the Bahamas and drug money, big drug money. The Bahamas are ideally located to serve as a jumping-off place for drug shipments coming from Central and South America to the United States. And Brian Ross reports tonight that there is a great deal of evidence that big drug money goes right to the top in the Bahamas.
When I got invited into the cabinet, we were being blamed for America's appetite for drugs. Now, the Minister of National Security, people like Mr. Roker, will tell you that we were defined as a transshipment point for drugs. We didn't create drugs. We didn't grow drugs at that stage. But because of being next to the United States that had the largest appetite for drugs, it was very easy for American government officials to say, boy, those drugs came through the Bahamas, and very easy for journalists and just people who looked at the situation to say, well, if the Bahamian government had stopped them, we wouldn't have had drugs in New York or Washington or Chicago.
Do you know what a transit state is, man?
So that was Charles Carter, and he said something very important. He said the largest appetite for drugs. Okay? We already had a show a couple of weeks ago about how many guns America makes. They have one factory that's make like 1,500 guns a day. You understand what I'm saying? Let's continue now to hear the rest of the conversation that Mr. Pinland was having, the Right Honorable Sir Lyndon Pinland was having with NBC. Go ahead, producer.
Do you know what a transit state is, man? The Bahamas does not grow drugs. Americans buy it from where it came from. Americans are engaged in transporting it. Americans receive it in the United States. Americans use it in the United States. My little country stretches 500-600 miles from Florida to Haiti or Cuba. In order for our tourism to grow, we've got airstrips right on through those islands. We've got about 25 or 26 government-owned airstrips.
Is it possible that Mr. Vesco is using your...
Just hold on, ma'am. Just hold on. And there are some private ones. And the FBI, the DEA, other kind of aid you have, can't stop them coming into airfields in Florida. You expect my little country, me, with 200-odd thousand people, to be able to do what you can't do in this big country? You all got to be crazy.
Y'all gotta be crazy. The words of the late Right Honorable Sir Lyndon Pinland. Now, are we saying that people should be allowed to do as they wish in this country? That's not what this conversation is about. But there's a wider context. What say you, Mr.
No, I thought Sir Lyndon Pinland was very straightforward, blunt, and it was funny too, because especially the part when he say the CIA, the DEA, any kind of aid. That's you. That's a classic line right there. Any kind of aid.
Any kind of aid. Yes.
But yeah, it's a bigger problem. We don't manufacture drugs and guns here in this country, and so it has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Tinko.
But we're saying we don't manufacture drugs. We don't manufacture drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the United States is not pushing guns into the Bahamas.
Well, we already had cases where America, not the government. We're not suggesting that the government is doing that.
No,
but,
I just wanted to point that out. So if
we have had cases where
Americans are dealing like that, or Bahamians are doing and buying like that, then it's collateral damage.
Yeah,
it's kind of to what it is. But when we hear that clip of the Prime Minister speaking that way, I mean, you got to understand the context of what the world was in at that time. You had a president, which was Ronald Reagan, and even right before Ronald Reagan, you had another president that declared war on drugs, created the DEA. right? And then you had Ronald Reagan came there and hit it again. And then you had President Bush came and knocked it again. And then you had the people that were apprehended, Joseph Leda. Hopefully I can call that name. He's not a Bahamian.
Right.
Joe Leda. When I was young, I always used to have a guy in Goddale, so used to call him Joe Leda. I was like, where does his name come from? It's only today. Oh, this is who they were talking about, because this guy moved so much tons and tons of cocaine.
Is that the one who just did the podcast or something like
The
that?
podcast, yeah. Joe Leda. Joseph Leda.
Yeah.
Half German, half Colombian.
Yeah.
Okay, he's the one that had the property on the island there, Normanski.
Yeah.
Okay, who basically came when they lock him up. And you see, what's crazy with the American system is you will be assured that you go into jail.
Yes.
When they tell him he go into jail for 5,000 years.
Wow.
That fella start calling names from every angle.
Yeah.
And he's the one that said, which I was so shocked, that he was only given the former prime minister a small piece of money. I said I couldn't believe that Sir Lyndon Pillin would sell out the country for that little bit of money he's claiming he gave, which was something like $50,000 a month, I think he said, or something like
the
that.
podcast is there.
Very small on the podcast. He said that. So listen, we have issues. America has issues. They've been putting in billions of dollars fighting this stuff, But the thing is, it's small developing states that normally the burden and carry the blame of this stuff. It's never the users.
No.
The users are pointing the fingers at somebody else.
What we are very sure of is that the appetite for the drugs in America is much larger than it is anywhere else in the world, especially the Bahamas.
Caribbean can't sustain
No, we can't.
The cocaine support.
Yeah, that alone.
Not even the marijuana support.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah.
Can't. So that's a fact.
Let me go to the text line so I don't say neglecting y'all. Let's see. Uncle, what's the rake and scrape music you're playing today? That's Julian Believe Whip Wop. See, they getting in the house. They say, reach the house. It's Whip Wop.
Yeah.
But the whipping and the whopping start before they even get in the house. You know what I mean? Because that ain't happening until tomorrow. You know what I mean? Again, Wayne Monroe was rejected by the people of Freetown, not the country at large. Good point. This says, good talk show today, gentlemen. Now, the government of the Bahamas is under heavy questioning. Our parliament is under scrutiny, and the Bahamian people's eyes are open, and we need a general election. ASAP. We just come out of general. The U.S. knows who the senior MP is. America always have damage information. Yeah, well, America has the infrastructure to watch.
They build a huge embassy right there. What do you think that embassy for?
Exactly.
Yeah, for y'all, just to go apply to get a visa.
That's it. That big building just for visa, you see?
They listening to everything down there.
Yeah, this conversation.
Listening, taking notes. I mean, I don't know what y'all think an embassy is there for.
Yes.
Not like the Bahamian embassy in Miami just to go party. But they're over there collecting information.
If you lost your passport in Miami, you could go you get some papers to get home. You know what I mean? This conversation in the parliament occurred October 2024. Please don't give fuel to the PLP trolls attempting to equivocate on this. All right, so that was in 2024. That was the PLPA. All right. Yeah. But still, there was an opposition. That's what the call is saying.
Yeah.
There was still an opposition. All right. My Lord, listen, y'all with these 5,000 word tax, call in, please. Just because you can't stop it doesn't mean you should actively participate in it. Now, I agree with that text, though. You shouldn't actively participate in it, and you should move the people who are actively participating in it out of the government if they're in the government.
Yeah.
That's what we would love. But we'll see. Again, this is alleged. This is all alleged. Good afternoon, Uncle. Great show, Uncle. First thing, back in the 80s and 90s, our government sold a whole island, Norman Key, to a known dealer, and we as a people are supposed to believe that our government didn't know what he was doing and didn't benefit from it. Come on now, let's be real. Well, this is why, for me, this conversation has to be contextualized. You could sell a key to anybody.
Old key.
Keys are being sold to this day. Well, island key, right? Not the
whole key.
Yeah.
And the fella, and Joe Leader say, Joe Leader say, don't bother sending no police. Don't fly over. We good to go. We got everything we need.
Yeah. So let's go back to the phone lines here on Garden Radio today. Call you live.
Hi, Uncle.
Hey.
Great show to
Thank
you and
you.
your guests.
Thank you.
And I love listening to you, especially when you have the religious stuff on.
Thank you.
But I had to call in today, first time caller, because we need to stop running around. I mean, yes, okay, the government.
Mm-hmm.
The government does consist of both parties.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we have to understand that whoever it was, like Mr. Linden said in that clip.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you one thing, Mr. Linden and Hubert Ingram knows they dealt with things expeditiously.
Mm.
You cannot sit on this.
Yeah. I
Okay,
agree.
whether they were in the wrong or not, you have to deal with it. This is our country.
Yeah.
People don't remember back in the 80s when you had to go to the Fort airport, the dogs were out there sniffing as Bahamians got off planes.
Mm.
You see, these types of things you can't just let go.
Fester,
so if whoever it is, I don't care if it's up
Whoever
to the top
politician
to the
one
GM,
is, need to go.
exactly
Yeah.
needs to go. And you can't be, Parliament opening tomorrow, say something.
So let me
Because
ask you
the
this.
Americans, like you said, their appetite is huge for not only guns, but it is huge to just jam you and stick you where they want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they want to take over everything. So come on, deal with it. Get this done and let us get back to the business of the country.
So
and people need to stop it. We are very politically charged now.
Yeah.
We need to stop it. We need to put country first. And some Bahamians, to be honest with you, just too greedy.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, caller. What about the whole idea of due process? Some would say, yeah, but we don't know if what was actually said. We don't know if this politician was actually. What do you say about that?
Now, a name was on them, so they only put politician one because it is going to court.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly who.
No,
it
they
is,
know.
okay?
They know who it is, but
even if they don't know, I'm quite sure they have an idea of the persons involved. Gather them up, and try to deal with it here first and get rid of them.
I got
We
you.
don't need this scar on our country. We are trying to grow as a nation.
Yeah.
And like you said, see, they will stomp us and crush us,
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have to stand up against it. And that's one thing I can tell you now. So Lyndon wasn't taking it. You see him, he tell him straight and plain. I don't know what you expect us to do. But we have to stand our ground and we have to root it out. And we pull it out by the root.
Yeah.
Because we don't need this kind of thing, and especially going in to a new. And I definitely ain't no PLP. But I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
I ain't. But I know one thing. This is my country. This is now my government, and I wish them well.
Yeah.
Because my children have to live here, and your children.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you, caller. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. I think the biggest thing for me, the legal minds, I'm sure, are saying, yeah, we want to call that name because it's political fodder at this point. If you call that name now, automatically, they guilty. But it got to go to court. It got to go to court. You know what I'm saying? Caller, you live here on Guardian Radio today.
A pleasant good afternoon, Dr. Enius.
Hey, Sparky, how you doing, man?
I'm good, buddy. Suffering a little leg situation, but
okay.
I'm still getting around with something I call a wheelie walker. Not in a wheelchair yet, but
okay,
I
so
guess I'll get there, but live out long enough. We all will get into one.
Wow.
And a guinea if we live long enough.
Yes, sir.
But God has blessed the Bahamas with putting us 80 miles off the coast of Florida, above the Caribbean Sea, and in the Atlantic Ocean. All those fish and traveling areas everywhere from China all over the place. We're blessed. But it's also put us on the map as one of the smallest little, beautiful little country in the world. And now we are hit with this thing that we call corruption. And the world is looking at us and listening to us. And they watched our election the other day. And what scares me, like everybody else, is the amount of young people that in my little examination with the young people in my area, basically all of them say it don't make sense voting.
Wow.
My pa and my ma say ain't nothing could change. And it seems like The people that fight so hard to get down Bay Street and I live, they fight so hard. And I wonder, what they say is the richest man in the world name?
You mean ever? Or you mean today? You like
The one who with all the computers and everything.
Oh,
else.
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk, yeah.
Yeah, Musk. I wonder if the goal of our young politicians is to try and see who could be the richest Bahamian ever. Because it seemed like them, and even I hear the politicians say, in the near future, you're going to have to be a multi-billionaire to go to the House Assembly.
My Lord.
And when they go there, it seems like the elite. Everybody in every life and every world, there's always going to be friends, families, and lovers. In your family, you got friends, families, and lovers.
Sparky, if I get in the house, you know you straight.
Right.
Come on now. You straight.
What I'm saying is, hey, Doc, in your life, you have friends, families, and lovers that you look out for them first. First of all, you look out for yourself,
Yeah.
your family, and then
you
your
love us.
lovers.
Yeah.
That in your life, that in everybody call these talk shows, have that same thing. That got always be with us.
Yeah.
We can't duck it. In the church, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Got a fella, and he is the deacon in the church, you got the bishop. Then he won't become the bishop, so he gets love with plenty of people in the parish. Then he won't build his church, and he move off, and he carry half a congregation, because he want a big chapel and a bunch of people to make money for him and the first lady. That's going to always be with him. But the first thing I think we should move is remember, we are the country, and the foreigners coming here not because they love us. They come here to take over.
My Lord.
Below us, there's a nation with over 12 million people. We don't even have 500,000 people in the Bahamas. Plus, we separated by island. We got to go by mailboat, and we've been doing that.
And we ain't having children.
And we're not having children. Not only that, from I was a little boy, I'm 75 now, we was going from this island to the next island in the mailboat. We still doing it. We don't even have a aircraft carrier to fly us to Inagua. They going maybe once a week. And that ain't changing, and that's what the people say, it ain't nothing changing. And everybody from the out islands, they come into the capital because they want a better schooling, they want a better life, and when they get a better life in New Providence, they're not going back home either. So the foreigners from the south, they come in, and they come in for a better way of life. They come in to take over.
Well, we can be dealing with that next week, Tuesday. My guess next week, you all can be happily surprised. I ain't gonna call it right now, but just know next week we can touch that. All right, working on that show right now. Why is the opening of Parliament indoors? I thought it is held outdoors. Under Article 65 of the Bahamas Constitution, each session of Parliament shall be held at such place and commence at such time as the Governor General may by proclamation appoint. So this is a Governor General thing. You know what I mean? But I understand the weather's going to be bad, so they're going to be over at Atlantis, right? Last time they were at Bahama, right? So I guess they trying to hint us, like, yeah, man, we need a new place.
Yeah.
At the expense of the taxpayers.
Of course. We need you all to bill us a house so we could wear properly.
Right, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Let's go back to the phone lines. Call you live. Caller going once. All right, let's go to the next caller. Call you live.
Hey, good afternoon, Uncle Sora and Dr. Tinker.
Yeah, Mr. B is here too.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you something, Dr. Tinker. Is that an open indictment or a sealed indictment, this accusation that came up now, this allegations?
Against this MP?
Yeah.
I don't think they indicted anybody yet. They just...
Well, I'm saying the same thing, because if it was a sealed indictment and that gentleman already been to court, that indictment should have been open. And if it's an open indictment, by now the U.S. would already called the politician right or wrong.
Yeah, they would have extradited him.
So I think what it really is allegations and accusations and assumptions, but it's no substantive factors here. Okay, let's just wait and see what happens with this before we all jump to conclusion, because it don't even have to be the way they say it.
But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. In many cases, when the DOJ put the bait out there, there's a good chance they already have the information they need.
I think so also. But like I said, all this jumping to conclusion and naming persons and saying this one, that one, I think the Bahamas need to wait until that person name is called, or the government calls that person in when they get the information from the United States of America, if they don't already have it.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
And just to piggyback on him, I mean, we got to realize this is international relations at play.
Right.
In many cases, the sovereign state of the United States have information. I almost guarantee you they're working with Fred Mitchell right now and the PM to see what's the best way to do this, giving them the benefit on how they want to deal with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? Because there's some respect of
diplomatic
sovereignty
courtesies.
of the Bahamas.
Yeah,
And diplomatic courtesies. And you have an embassy right there in Nassau, and I could almost guarantee you that embassy is in the mix and in the play with all this. Or what's the best way forward and how we're going to work this out? Because I think a few days ago also, a plane crash, and the boy had $30,000 on it. He drowned, but one thing he remembered, the grab from the bottom of the water was that 30
But
grand.
you didn't think you never float with $30,000. Just float, you know.
Literally and figuratively.
Hey, well, when I grew up in the 80s, when I grew up in the 80s, a lot of things was floating in the Bahamas.
Square grouper.
I know, right?
Yeah, square grouper. You know?
Yeah.
So in this case here, this guy now, he's before the courts in Orlando in federal court, which they said an MP was written on that or with the $30,000. So and they said they've been looking for this fella.
Yeah.
So and when they hit them with that 1,000 years, my boy, and you start to see this is what your life can be,
Boys to men.
nobody's protected.
Yeah, boy.
I'm telling you, and the U.S. is famous for doing that, man. I think I only remember one guy that got the 1,000 years and didn't squeal in our recent time was John Gotti. The Teflon Don. They used to call him the Teflon Don.
Yeah.
He was the head of the Italian mobster in New York, and he would go to court and win.
Yeah.
And they found anything to get him. And what got him? His own mouth on a recording.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a tough sell.
We can see he be Boys to Men 112. You know, he started to sing it. Namaste, uncle. Which political party background and ideology do you tend to lean towards to? The ideology that speaks to you and is compatible with your religious beliefs. I look at political parties and their ideology as vehicles. Okay? So if the vehicle is going in a direction that's going to help the country, I will support. If the vehicle is not going in the direction that is going to help the country, I do not support. That's how I deal with politics. So I don't pledge no allegiance to any party. You understand? Whether that makes me a nationalist or not, I don't know. But I definitely could come on this radio and I could see the PLP doing something wrong and say, look, that don't make no sense. I could see the FNM doing something wrong and say, look, that don't make no sense. I could see the COI doing something wrong, the DNA, independence. If you ain't making sense, I'm going to first ask questions. And then I'm going to let the people chime in, and then I'm going to make my decision. But I don't swear no allegiance to no political party. We're going to run to a break here on Guardian Radio today, 96.9. Fresh news, smart talk all day. Mr. Beads in studio, as well as Dr. Tinker. My name is Kahun Anku Sarah. Keep it locked.
Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop. Reach the houses, whip, wop, whip, wop, whip, wop.
When it comes to hearts at Cleveland Clinic, you can't miss a beat. You seek the best care possible, work with the brightest minds, and leave no stone unturned to get to the heart of the matter. Because understanding is always the first step to overcoming. For every heart in the world, see how we're advancing the future of heart care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Always on the go? Missed a show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Boost your buying power with a margin loan at rates as low as 7.5%. A margin loan offers convenient flexibility, freeing up capital without liquidating your investments. Whether you're looking to diversify, fund a business opportunity, or refinance higher cost debt, RF provides access to cash within 48 hours for any purpose. Tailored, effortless, powerful. Discover how a margin loan can work for you. Visit rfgroup.com or call 603-6000. RF Bank and Trust. Money at work.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
She sent me a message, so I checked my DM. Told me she available from AM to PM.
AM to PM. Yes, welcome back to Guardian Radio here on 96.9. Guardian Radio today, back on 96.9. And we're having a conversation today regarding current news. This rescued Bahamian, they say, turns out to be a cocaine cowboy. Now, one thing with the Tribune is a glorified tabloid. A glorified tabloid. Right? Arrested by the U.S. authorities after plane crash, Jonathan Players wearing a crossbody bag with 3 mobile phones and $30,000 inside an envelope labeled with a handwritten name of a prominent Bahamian politician. What if that was just the envelope he grabbed coming out the door? What if that was just what if that was something from the campaign that the politician gave him? What, you know what I'm saying?
Where were they flying? Because they crashed in Melbourne, which is north of Palm Beach. Where were they coming from?
And I don't know. I've heard
they couldn't have been coming from no other place in the States. I'm telling you where they landed.
No, I know. I agree. So I don't understand.
They landed in So Melbourne. So if you're familiar with Palm Beach, Melbourne is like 1 hour out of Orlando.
Yeah, my roommate was from Melbourne.
I'm trying to figure out how so far north.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because a part of the article was saying that they were island hopping.
Right.
So island hopping, how you get over there?
Yeah.
How you get over there?
I guess what happened is when you have 30,000, like the current is carry you. You see?
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, you just float.
Hey,
that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
That money probably was saying, wait.
Yeah.
He was trying to get to Florida.
Don't go in that water. Stay over there.
Wow.
Let's go back.
Trust me, he didn't want to be rescued. He did not want to be rescued.
He let that bag go.
No, he let that bag go.
Let's go.
As soon as they came up, what they do? They fingerprint him. They fingerprinted everybody on that vessel.
Yep. Let's go back to
That's how they find him.
Yep. Let's go back to the phone lines. Call you live.
Hey, good afternoon, Uncle.
Hey, good afternoon.
And Dr. Dinka and Mr. Beard.
Good day, sir.
I can start with you, Mr. Beard.
Yes, sir.
Man, welcome to the Guardian. You know, I just like your commentation, right? You know, and you're ready to join the right crew.
Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you, right? And I look in to see what slot can get filled and where that slot get in. Right? That's another talk show for another day.
Another time, yes, sir.
That's another set of politics.
Dr. Anku.
Hey.
And the doctors out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you all hear the people that said it was what it was? It was a government official, and they call him government official number 1, right, or something like that.
Politician 1.
Mm-hmm.
What it is again?
Politician 1 is how they describe it.
So all of us been to school. Y'all are doctors.
I see where you're going with this, but
y'all that reach me.
I thought the same thing, but they should have said politician 8.
I don't think they're going by the color plate. Man. Come on,
they
man.
go on by the plate 8.
They ain't going by the plate number.
They don't say hey, gentlemen. They say politician
1. My Lord.
Well, you know, the rumors was already that your boy couldn't go to the U.S.
Yeah, see,
but I ended up meeting him in the U.S. A few years ago when he was in the opposition.
Rumors.
So he said, boy, he could fly.
Yeah.
So Well, because there must be some other politician because there's one. That's one point, right? But I'm not really surprised in anything because I saw record-breaking cabinet appointments and board, and senator appointments in less than a week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's record. That should go inside our
the Gussie May cabinet.
Right? I've never seen it that quick. So, I mean, all of these things we have to look about it. Then, when it comes to that plane, right? I mean, just allegedly, or just from outside looking in, right? I thought Grand Bahama was right next to Abaco. I know. I mean, somebody can help me with that. But I thought Grand Bahama.
I thought so too.
So what you should
right
probably
next
do
to
is
Abaco.
take 30,000 around your chest
see where it carry
see
you.
how it carry you. See, try it out.
Yeah,
bro.
but
Try it out.
they said it was only in the water for, 2 hours or 5?
Oh, they said
Well,
long.
There's about 2 or 3 hours staying there, but that was sufficient time for the Coast Guard to come in and do their thing because at the end of the day, nobody can tell me allegedly that the pilot what is supposed to be a flying plane, allegedly, right? He land a plane, allegedly, inside that area. So, allegedly, there was situations
Well,
that occurred.
he say he was straight and he did an awesome job keeping them people alive. So we glad.
He did an excellent job.
Yeah.
And then he said the first thing that came across his mind when he like, wow, we alive.
Hey, yeah.
So
Yeah.
he said the first
But
thing that came to his
all,
mind.
but all that water between the two countries, he could land a babe in water.
Man, he
That's what they
listen.
tried to make, because I ain't supposed to be flying this plane, no.
Oh,
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and
Allegedly.
he say he was straight, and
Right.
he trying to wait. I never want to be in that predicament. but
You're some smart guys. How would I say?
yeah, man,
Yes,
I
sir.
won't be in that predicament. But I guarantee you, they was trying to stay alive.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
They wasn't
and
wearing-
ocean landing is always good because
Yeah.
the land on
Yeah.
on hard surface there's tragedy. So
Yeah.
he did the right thing. He stomach landed right in the water.
Yeah, man, because both engines went out. Yeah, no, he did his thing. Let's go back to the phone lines. Call you live.
Good afternoon, Uncle. Dr. Uncle.
How you doing, my brother? Good afternoon.
Dr. Tinker.
My brother.
Beach.
Yes.
You know, you spelled your name for me, but while you were talking, God was talking at the same time. But I really want to follow you, as the previous caller wants to follow you and looking for great things out of you. I don't know why it's coming off like this, but this is just the way it is, because you're still winning, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen, brother.
I appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah, man. But I want that pilot to pilot me.
He did his job.
Yeah, because the way I understand it, the weather was bad.
Okay.
And
okay.
he still was able to land the plane. He probably, the avionics might have given him some issues. I don't know. But we could only speculate. But then, to the point of leverage that countries and governments try to have over one another, as one of your callers mentioned, how the U.S. may just be holding this over our head for leverage. And I think the only two countries that I can think of that have the ability to have a police station in the United States, that's China and Russia. Mr. Think, am I right about that?
A police station. I mean, maybe in the embassy.
Well,
I have never heard of a police station outside their embassy.
No, I'm hearing that they were locking up Chinese and holding them in China, in America, to ship them out.
Oh
Do you
no,
recall
man.
that?
No. I've never heard that. But if they are allowed to carry arms in the embassy, they have a military
all right,
attaché
all right.
in their embassy, but not
Because I
a
do-
floating police department on the outside. I never heard that.
I do remember something so funny about an embassy that I learned about in visiting in Africa. They seem to have a lot of money in these embassies, especially U.S.
Yeah.
But back to leverage, right? Notice how Iran is using Hormuz as leverage over the United
Of course,
States. So
why not? It's a war of attrition.
so this, but now watch what this PLB government may be around for a very long time if they continue to use the leverage that I see they have developed.
What's that?
When I was an insurance agent, my job was to visit the hospitals, and every female who gave birth, I just try to sell them an insurance. Of course, you get to know them and you play a little sales pitch.
Yeah.
But look what has happened in 36 years, there have been a number of persons being born who are now 18 years old, and of becoming 18, they might have been visited by an insurance agent who could say, now, let me tell you how this works. We're going to provide you with your documents, even though you're entitled to it, but you don't know that, and then you're going to be one of us. And I see an army of young individuals who are going to be loyal to the Progressive Liberal Party. So I could, based on using my sources, I see any other party winning it a long time if they continue to use this leverage that they have, because I see a Republic of Haiti in the Bahamas.
But you see a lot of people didn't vote. So
But those who didn't vote were those who were told, you might get catch.
But I was that's the only people who didn't vote?
Well, no, there's a combination. Don't forget now, imagine if they did vote. Yeah, come on, man. Think about this for a minute.
I hear you. Tuesday,
So when
we touching this on next week, Tuesday.
Well, that's when I can call in, and I'm
Yeah.
going to improve, on it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I hear you, though. I definitely hear you. There's a lot to say about, these supposed voters cards, passports, things that was going around.
The signatures on the passports, too?
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot that needs to be clarified. It's a lot that needs to be clarified. Let's go back to the phone lines. Call you live.
Yes, John. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could somebody explain to me how a plane could just fall out the sky, who was in it, who the United States was looking for from 2023, and how a routine military helicopter was in the area doing training.
At the right time.
At the right time. And not,
On election day.
Months ago, we had United States bragging how they're shooting boats out of the water affiliated with drugs. I need the whole story. I don't just need United States feeding us what they want to feed us. I want a whole entire investigation done how the plane got out the sky. Because if that plane had help falling out the sky with women and children on board of it just because a drug deal was on that, boy, some people have to do some answering.
Well,
and we're not answering these questions.
Yeah.
We are not answering these questions.
Yeah.
We are the Bahamas, we are spoiled, but that don't mean that anybody could come and bully us.
Yeah. Well,
I want all the investigation. Look, and I hope that's what our government doing. Don't look scared in front of them. I want if that plane have to come out the water, take it out the water. We have the technology to do that. And investigate the whole thing. Women and children was on board that plane.
Yeah.
But the pilot should have been given interviews right now. The pilot didn't give no interview in Nassau.
Pardon me?
He did speak.
The pilot didn't give an interview in Nassau. You need to bring the pilot on the show, on crew.
I thought the pilot said that he lost all instruments on the plane.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He said everything shut down.
Yeah, everything
So
shut down.
everything will just go dead on the plane.
Well, we
that
live in
sound like
we live in the Bermuda Triangle. Amen.
Yeah, that sounds like someone zap him, someone whap him.
That crossed my mind, But I say, nothing happened to the United States, so they must be immune to the Bermuda Triangle.
It's for Bermuda. So
Man, that sound like someone. That sound like he gets zapped with technological laser there.
yeah, appreciate you, but so this is what BBC was saying. The recent plane that crash landed in the Atlantic on May 12th was headed to Freeport, Grand Bahama. The origin of the flight, Marsh Harbor in Abaco. So from Abaco to Freeport. This type of aircraft was a Beechcraft B-30. All right. It was supposed to be a 20 to 30 minute flight. The aircraft suffered.
Abaco to Freeport.
Yeah.
Not in 20 minutes, though. That's less than that.
Yeah, but how did if you
which-
look at the map? Look at the map right now on if you have a laptop.
Yeah.
He was way west.
I agree. I agree. The aircraft suffered a sequence of failures, including the navigation. So the navigation system. So maybe he didn't go where he's supposed to go. Radio and both engines, the navigation system, the radio, both engines unable to return or communicate. The Bahamian pilot Ian Nixon flew forward until he was forced to execute a controlled ditching maneuver in the open ocean. So he flew for a while. The plane crash landed far off course, roughly 50 miles off the coast of Florida, about 175 miles north of Miami.
So was he going to Freeport, New York? Or Freeport County, Freeport City? I don't know.
But you know, if he lost his navigation, he lost his radio. At that point, he just trying to stay alive. So
yeah, but from where he was in the Bahamas, he ended up too far west too quick.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't have been flying that long if the trip is only 30 miles or whatever. I mean, 30 minutes or 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes. I mean, that means you went up, put your seatbelt on, mayday, mayday, and you land.
Yeah.
You went through the twilight
You
zone.
end up off the coast of Melbourne, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's too quick, man.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you live.
Hi, good day, Uncle.
Good day. Thanks for calling.
Good day to your guests and good day to the nation.
Good day.
Uncle, you know, we all are asking some very pivotal questions, important questions. I mean, for me, how come this guy, if he lost all his instruments and he lost everything, you would think Cuba is closer to the Bahamas than Florida, right?
Well,
he's not where he was from. He was north.
He was north. Yeah, he was up
He
north.
was north.
Yeah.
Okay, but in any event, I mean, how do you end up that far into international waters if you were going right from Abaco into Freeport?
Yeah, they right next to each other. Yeah, they next to each other.
I have three questions. My
Yeah.
second question is, you know, we know that aircrafts fly with life rafts, vests on their plane. But who puts a life raft on a plane? I mean,
Yeah,
how many
where the hell they
planes
get that
out
from?
there- How many planes out there have a life raft on it? Okay. And my third question is, did the Bahamian government charge this guy for kidnapping?
What you mean? What you mean?
Did the Bahamian government, did the commissioner of police charge this
Say
pilot
kidnap.
for kidnapping the citizen?
Explain why you explain. Let me hear what you saying.
He delivered a drug dealer right to America.
Let me-
What I'm saying is you put a life raft on your plane, right? That means that life raft is there with an intent, all right? You have U.S. Navy taking training somewhere within the vicinity of where you crashed your plane, which is way off from where you were heading, okay? And you say you end up there because all your instruments went dead, so you obviously drift into international waters, and there is where you decided to land the plane, all right?
Yeah.
My question is, did the commissioner of police charge this man for kidnapping? Kidnapping
We need to
of
find
a
that black
citizen.
box. We need to find that black
Well,
box. He's been
so-
flying too long.
So the Beechcraft King Air B-30, the B-30 does not come standard with a built-in raft from the factory, but pilots normally pack portable life rafts when flying over open water. That may be a pilot thing.
Now, that is the first time I have heard of that. And all of the crashes that I've heard of in the history of the Bahamas, that's the first time I heard of a crash where there was a life raft on the plane. That's the first time.
He was saving everybody, including the 30 grand and the drug dealer.
They might have had a couple collecting Kong salad
Listen.
on that too. You never know.
We have run out of time. The Talking Heads are up next. I want to thank Mr. Beats for being here. I want to thank Dr. Tinker. Dr. Tinker, we got some music to play for these people. We can do it next week. Because
man.
Dr. Tinker is running for District 6 over there in Florida.
Way to go.
He got some campaign music
Yeah.
that we want.
Wishing you all the best with that, sir.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Talking Heads is up next. Naughty and MJ will be here, so keep it locked here on 96.9 Guardian Radio. Fresh news, smart talk all day. Again, my name is Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas, the third, also known as Cahoon and Kusara. Namastu, family.
All of my jet, man, this girl, she's soaking wet.